Hey gamer friends, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Josiah.
And we are ready to roll.
Today, we're talking about our favorite games from 5 years ago.
Think back, the year is 2020. It's when the world went crazy. Yep. Can you believe that's been 5 years?
I can't. But there were some really good games created.
Yeah, there were some good games. That was just a crazy time, and I think the board game world just exploded in 2020 because of lockdowns and all of that.
Yep.
So we actually have our top 10 list from the year 2020.
Yep.
Our number 10 is Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. This was a really fun game because we actually played this game with our daughters.
Yep. It was a bit of a mixed bag,
It was. But it was a good first experience.
It was. So you're given clues and you're trying to solve the mystery of somebody's death or some missing person or whatever it is. Yeah. It started out really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then by about halfway through, it got so hard that we couldn't solve any mysteries.
No, it was terrible. But at first, it really was. The first several sessions that we played were really fun. They give you like newspaper articles, like a map and different things. So you're trying to figure it out. And then if you go here, you can talk to certain people and you look that person up and you read the clue. And so that was really fun to play as a family. We were poring over the map and trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, we did get really into it.
We did. So that made it a good experience overall. So yeah, once we passed a certain point, we weren't getting anything. And of course, that makes it not near as much fun when you can't figure out anything.
Right.
But it was still a good experience.
It was a good experience, yes, for sure.
Yeah. So number 10, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective.
Number 9 is Oceans. This is a game that a lot of people really love, but we kind of are mid on it.
I'm mid, yeah.
We kind of both rank it as a C game. It's interesting because the mechanics of the games seem like they should work really well, but it just didn't hit for us.
Yeah. I'm not really sure why. I will say it is beautiful. It is fun to play with the little fish. It's like it needs a little bit more tweaking, a little bit more work to it, and it could be a really great game. I'm hopeful that the nature game will kind of tweak some of those things and make it even better.
Yeah.
Because I think that it could be a really, really good game.
Yeah, for sure. That was our number 9, Oceans.
Our number 8 for the year of 2020 was Honey Buzz. Honey Buzz is a game that belongs to our daughter, Michaela. She owns Honey Buzz, and she came over and taught us that game. And I really liked it. Him, not so much. But I loved Honey Buzz. I thought it was a really cute theme.
It is super cute.
Building out my little hive, adding the different types of honey and things on it, I thought were really fun. And I really enjoyed it.
I need to play it again because I'm a different gamer than I was when I played that game. It might not have gotten a fair shake with me.
Well, and to be really honest, you typically, those types of games, you have to play a few times before you generally like them anyway.
Right.
I'm not really sure why, but maybe it's because you have to kind of figure out the game and then you can enjoy it.
Right.
So
I'm a little slow sometimes.
That's not what I mean by that. But that's our number 8, Honey Buzz.
Our number 7 is Comic Hunters. This is a game that I actually really enjoy. When we first played it, I was like, seems like a kind of a boring game. But the more we played it, the more I like it. And basically, you're just a person who's going out trying to find comic books. And they come in the form of like playing cards, and it has the comic book cover on it. There's different mechanisms in the game, like an auction.
There's like the thrift store.
Yeah, thrift store.
And then there's something else. I can't remember what
I can't remember what it is either, but it takes you through these different rounds where you're going to these different places to get the comic books, and
they're almost mini games. So like each different place you go to is a different type of game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
It is interesting. If you want Thor or Iron Man or whoever it is, you're making sets of comics that feature that hero, and you score based on that.
The thing that's hard about this game is that the component quality is super low.
Yeah.
And so
it's disappointing.
Really, it's almost hard to play with because the cards are fragile.
Yeah.
I feel like, and we probably just need to sleeve them.
Yeah,
and then we might actually enjoy the game a little bit better.
But even the tokens are really cheap.
Thin card. I mean, they're not even cardboard.
It's a game that you can tell they spent all of their money on the IP.
Yes.
On the intellectual property of Marvel.
Yes.
And they didn't have any budget left over for the components. So that part is pretty disappointing.
Yeah. I also will say we were not able to get this game until recently because it technically released in 2020, so that's why it's part of this list. But I think it wasn't widely available in the United States until, I don't know, 2023 or something like that. So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah. So that was our number 7, Comic Hunters.
Our number 6 is a game that I have played, but he has not played, and it is called New York Zoo. New York Zoo is a fun little like polyomino game where you're placing out these polyominoes in your tableau, and you have to put animals on it. And so there may be like flamingos or penguins or something, and you're filling it up, and you get points based on how many animals are in your zoo and if you filled up your entire zoo with pieces. It's a pretty fun game. There are games that I would say are similar enough that I like better than that game now, but I do think it's still a cute, fun little game. So that is New York Zoo.
Our number 5 is Marvel United. This is a really fun game. You have these little minis of the Marvel superheroes. You set up the board with different locations, and you're basically traveling around the different locations, and you're trying to save citizens and defeat thugs and minions until you meet enough requirements to then defeat the big bad. And you're laying out your cards that you play almost like a comic strip, and it's just really fun. It works really well. It's cute.
It's easy to learn.
Yeah.
It's a fun because it's cooperative. You can play it with just about any group of people. Yeah. It's really easy to play with all kinds of people.
Yeah, it's a good entry level game.
Yes.
To the board game hobby.
And we have only ever we've played the original. And we have played the Spider-Man expansion, but there's so much content now for Marvel United, and we haven't even scratched the surface. And so, but it's a great game.
It is. It's really, really good.
In fact, that was probably one of my favorite games when it came out. That was probably one of my favorite games. It was so fun.
Yeah. It's a good one. Go check it out. That's our number 5, Marvel United.
Number 4 is Lost Ruins of Arnak. It is a Indiana Jones style game. You're an archaeologist. You're going out into the jungles and getting resources, and you're climbing tracks to research track and to earn a lot of points. And I love this game. This is such a great game. I enjoy every bit of it. He did not love this game when we first got it, and now he likes it better. It has grown on him. I would not say this is one of his favorite games.
It's not.
But he definitely likes it better than
it is. It is a game that has grown on me for sure. For some reason, like we said, there are some games where it takes me a few plays to really be able to try and enjoy this game, and this is one of them.
Well, and I think too, this was one where you almost have to go up the research track. Now, I know that there are people out there who say, I've won so many times and didn't have to do that. But for the most part, it's like that is the easiest way to win the game. And you did not want to go up the research track.
I wanted to fight monsters.
And so he would just try and fight monsters.
Yeah.
And so I think that was really frustrating because you were like, don't force me to go up this track I don't want to go on. And so I think that was part of it.
I will say that we got the expansion that turns it into a co-op game, and that really enhanced it for me. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It made it kind of campaign style too, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
So that was our number 4, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Our number 3 is The Loop. This is a game that we actually didn't enjoy as much when we first played it, but have gotten on the table fairly recently, and we're like, this is a really fun game.
It's so good.
It's a fun game. There are different eras in time around this track, around this circular board. You are basically time traveling around the board, trying to get what's
Dr. Foe.
Dr. Foe, yes. And he's spreading his little cubes around the board, and you've got to clean those up and do these other things to not let time rifts happen. And anyway, it's just it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's got some humor. With the different items that you can get in your cards, and it's just so cute. I really like it. I'm surprised. I don't know why we didn't have a good first experience with it, but now I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's a great game, and I can't wait to get it back on the table.
I know. Yeah.
So that was our number 3, The Loop.
Our number 2 is Unmatched Cobble and Fog. Unmatched is such a fun system in and of itself, and then but you can play different characters, and this was one of the boxes that came out that year. I think there were actually several that came out in 2020, but I picked Cobble and Fog because I still think it's one of the best boxes of Unmatched to come out. It's one of my favorites. It has Sherlock Holmes. It has Jekyll and Hyde. It has the Invisible Man. Like, it's a fun group of characters that you can play. I really liked that one.
That was a great one.
Yeah, so that's number 2, Unmatched Cobble and Fog.
Our number 1 game from 2020 is Viscounts of the West Kingdom. This game is amazing.
Yeah, I love this game.
Yeah, there's a circular board with a castle in the middle, and you're going along these tracks. You can go along an upper track or a lower track. You do things like you can build on the upper tracks, or you can put meeples in the castle in the lower track. You can get these little books, and you can also collect resources along the outside. And you just start going around the board, up, down, up, down, up, down, just doing these things where you're building buildings, you're putting meeples in the castle, or collecting books. It's just really fun. Yeah,
there's like this interesting mechanism where your cards move every turn. So like the cards that are in front of you are the ones you get to use for that turn, and then they rotate each turn, and you bring in another one goes off.
Yeah.
And so it's just this constant move of your cards. So there is a deck building element as well. You're adding cards to your deck. It's so good.
It is. And you're unlocking bonuses as you build buildings. It unlocks permanent upgrades or something to that effect. It's great fun. I love playing this game every time we play it.
Yeah, it's the 3rd in the West Kingdom trilogy, and they're all really good. And so I think this is your favorite of the 3.
By far my favorite one. So that is our number 1 game, Viscounts of the West Kingdom.
There are a few games from this year that I looked up that we have not played, and I would still like to play. One is Kanban EV.
Oh, yeah. I want to play that so badly.
I know. People love Kanban, and I would like to see how good it is, if it's as good as everybody thinks that it is.
Yeah.
The second one is Project L. This one's a tile placement game, and so I think it might have a Lazy Susan. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like I remember people saying something about that.
Okay.
Forgotten Waters.
I want to play this one really badly.
I think this is an app-driven game. Is that right?
I think it does have that aspect, yes.
We've never played it, but I have heard that it's better with 4 people. And so that's one that we'll have to play with a game group. Yeah. But I definitely want to play that one. And then the last one on my list was Pan Am. And I've heard some great things about that one as well. And that one is a cool theme. I really like the idea. And so anyway, those are the 4 games that we have not played from the year 2020 that I still want to get to the table.
Yeah, I can't wait to get those.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.
And tell us down below, what is your favorite game from 2020? We would love to hear about that.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.